Obviously an exciting opportunity to play for a championship. I know you've kind of been here through the highs and lows. You've seen a lot, but what does this week, being able to prepare for a title, mean to you?
That means a lot. We're finally kind of. I mean, this is what we've been working for all year and for years to come. So to finally get this opportunity, man, like we just can't. We can't let it go to waste. So we're gonna prepare our butts off, and we're excited for this matchup.
Look, when you've gone through the gamut like you have through this league and you get to the title game, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. Will this turn out to be the best team you guys have seen in this league, just looking at them early on film?
Yeah, for sure. There's no bad teams in championship games. Coach Huff made that very clear to us. And you look at them, I mean, they're obviously coached very well. They fly around to the ball. Their offense is really good. Their defense, they got some really good guys. They got some bigger guys. And, they can tell they're a tight-knit group. They go around. They play for each other. And, it should be an exciting matchup.
I asked Coach about you guys having some confidence coming off two really big road wins. All year long, you seem like when you had to make a play in this league, you've done it and won 6, 7 games. Does he take that as confidence? Does that help you in this battle to try to win a title?
Yeah, I think it does for sure because in the beginning of the season, everyone was talking about how we couldn't win on the road and how we've been struggling on the road. And, I think we proved that we can, be focused on the road and, win those tight-knit games. Playing at ODU and JMU, I mean, those are not easy places to play at, especially JMU. I mean, I think that was the loudest crowd we've been in since, like, Virginia Tech. So, they were great atmospheres. They were great opponents, and we're definitely going to use that momentum for this game.
When you look at the ability to win some of those games in the way that you did, obviously ODU, JMU, they were two different games, but you come back from 17 down. What does that say about the demeanor of this team, and just how do moments like that help build championship culture?
I think when you're in those situations, your culture is truly tested, and we never thought we were out of it. And we started slow. I think we've started slow the past couple weeks, just as an offensive perspective. And we obviously got to fix that for this game because they're too good to be trailing from behind. And but I think it's a testament to our culture and how close we are as a team. Like defense was never on us about not scoring. We weren't on them for not stopping them in that first quarter. So halftime came around and we got together and we were like, we're going to win this game, and we did.
What do you notice about their D-line?
They're big. They're physical. They're in their right gaps. They're obviously coached very well. I think they can get after the passer really well too. They got two ends that are really good. I think they have in the rotation they have some good depth. I think number 2 is a really good player, really good pass rusher. So I mean, we're definitely going to be challenged this week.
Obviously Louisiana, a team that you guys have some history with, played them in the bowl game in 21.
Mm-hmm.
They came here a couple of years ago. Just what is it about that matchup that always seems to have some extra juice to it?
I'm not sure. I think obviously the bowl game was pretty close until the fourth quarter. When they came here 2 years ago in 22, it was a close game to the end. And I think we just play each other really hard. I think we're similar programs, similar cultures of being super physical, super tough. So I think when you get those two heads bashing together, obviously there's going to be some tension. So, I think we're excited. We know what to expect from them. So we're ready.
Obviously not the first championship game you've been around for.
Mm-hmm.
But do weeks like this feel different in the building?
Yeah, there's also more tension in the air. There's more of a sense of urgency because this is the game you prepare for all year. This is what you've been breaking it down to since January. We've been breaking down for a championship, and we finally have that opportunity. So now it's go time. It's nut up or shut up. We got to go in all week, and it started yesterday with our preparation and practice, and obviously the rest of the week.
This will be the third straight game on the road, but you guys kind of have that process down by now?
Yeah, I think we do. Road games aren't easy, but, when you play a couple in a row, you get used to it. So I think we're going to be ready for it.
Just one more for me, Logan. What would this mean to you? You've been around the program a long time. If you win this, you put your name up there with the Catos and the Penningtons on the left, which is to win a conference championship. How much would that mean to you?
I mean everything to me. All I've ever wanted to do is win a championship for this team, this community, this university. So to finally be able to give back to that would be, I mean, that would just mean everything to me. So I'm really excited. Like I said, I can't wait to go out there and play. So thank you guys.
Anything further for Logan? Alrighty.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Logan. All right, everybody, we got defensive end Mike Green.
Well, Mike, obviously a big opportunity for this week. What about this week? Does anything feel different when you're preparing for a title game, knowing you've worked all year to get to this point?
I don't necessarily think so. Well, personally, not for me. The same thing I've been doing from week one is the same thing I've been doing now when it comes down to my game week regimen. And I think the team's at a good spot right now. We're not taking this game too highly, and we're not taking it for a low ball. So it's kind of like an even steady base of how we should approach this game. We're not going to, of course, go in there and think this is the Super Bowl, but at the same time, we're not going to go in there and think that this game doesn't matter, because it does. And that's pretty much the approach that we have for this game. And I think as the week continue to go on, that we'll have more of a feel and more of a vibe of how we should walk into the game, at least.
Obviously, they've experienced a quarterback change due to injury, but the offense has stayed pretty consistent. What does that say about the makeup of that side of the ball for them?
That means that the scheme that they run on offense simply is successful. It's not necessarily so much of the players, which they, of course, play a role in it, but it just means that what they're doing on offense, the plays that they call and how they run their offense is working. And I think that kind of just shows you that they don't really need any flashy guys. They don't really need anybody special to have success for their team, and that kind of plays a role. And when you play teams like that, it's tough. You got to make sure that not only if you're going out there playing with effort and energy, but you're doing the right things. So it's gonna be a good test for us, and I'm just excited to just go out there and just play, man.
Like, how have you kind of navigated through all the publicity and the hype and what you've done this year and just gone about your business? How hard has that been?
I want to say at first it might have been a little difficult, simply because it was the first time anything has ever happened like that in my life, and I think as the seasons start to go by, and I was creating more and more value for myself, it's kind of like, well, if I got this, well, what else can I get? So it's kind of been a chase throughout the whole year. Not once did I feel like I was a good spot throughout the year, even though there's a lot more things that I can improve on, and there's a lot more things that I'm striving for. I wouldn't necessarily think that I've done enough, and I think that kind of just goes along with the character that I carry and the trait that I have, and I'm just ready just to continue to grow as a player and to grow as a man. So this game will probably give me a good opportunity to do that.
And we talked a little bit after the game Saturday about just what the opportunity to play for a championship means. But you know, when you come to a new program, that's the goal, right? Is to play for a championship. To be able to say that you are. What does that mean for you?
So when you say that, I think we're not necessarily playing for a championship. I think we're playing for our team. Our team been through a lot of adversity. Our team been through the ups and downs. Preseason ranked 5th in the East Division, and I think that this game is just for ourselves. This game is for us. We earned the game. I don't think I don't want to title it too much as a championship game. I want to title it as another game for Marshall to create opportunity and to create personal and team value, because I think we've earned it, and it kind of just shows you the way that we responded to all the adversity and things. So I don't really think we owe anything to a championship level. I think we owe everything to ourselves.
Also been a lot of talk, not only about you guys as a team, but about Coach Huff this week. How has he handled that internally, and just how has he helped kind of quiet some of that noise within the locker room?
He simply just came in and was telling us, like, we're focusing on this game. And I have a tremendous respect for Coach Huff and the way that he approached this. And it's football, so it's a business. You don't necessarily know what's going to happen. I think the team's been doing a good job of just focusing on this game, because nothing else really matters. If we broke down to champions, or we set our goal was to be champions in the beginning of the year, I don't see why we'll stop now. So I think we just got to continue to go day by day and not look too much in the future, because that's what set us back for this game. So we just have to continue to focus on the next game.
What's their old line like? What do you notice about them?
Their line, they're big, they're physical. They're probably going to be the biggest O-line that we face this year as a whole. I think they do a good job of moving guys off the ball. I think they do a good job of creating lanes for the running backs to run and for the quarterback to do many other options. I think that their offense is, like I said, they're just schemed up well, and they're not really going to do anything flashy. They're just going to go down and try to run the ball on you. Similar to JMU towards like second quarter, third quarter, is they're going to stick to what they're good at, and I don't think that they're going to go out there and try to do anything too spectacular. I think they're going to go out there and do what they've been having previous success on.
All righty. Anything further from Mike?
Thank you. God bless.
Thanks, guys. All right. Linebacker Jaden Yates leads the Sun Belt in tackles, 14th nationally in tackles, 114 of those bad boys.
I feel like we talk about it every week, but just another big opportunity. But what does the mentality this week? What does that look like? Is it business as usual? Is it hey, we've reached this point, let's not let up now? Just what does that look like from a player's perspective as you prepare for a title game?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, business as usual as far as it's another game. I mean, it's another game on the schedule. Can't kind of think about it as, yes, it is the championship, so it's not, I guess, exactly just another game. There is that kind of title on it. There is a lot more on the line, a lot more at stake. But if you kind of get caught up in that mindset, I mean, and overthinking about it, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still football. I mean, you still got to play first, second, third, and fourth down. You see, all the rules are still the same. Everything's still in place. So everything that we've done to kind of get us this far and get us into this point still applies and holds true. So we just got to come out and continue to execute, continue to play our brand of ball, and that will be all right.
Obviously, some guys stepped up on the defensive side Saturday in place of some others. But how about the linebacker group? The guys like Monroe, Beard stepping up, and then Leon Hart got in there some too.
Man, I'm beyond proud of those guys, man. I mean, just start with Monroe. I mean, that's a guy who, I don't know if y'all, I'm sure y'all know, but he's been there, did that. I mean, it was All-American at TSU, had every accolade, every award you could probably think of, and then for him to come here to Marshall and not affect the game in, I'm sure, ways that he thought he could or was going to, for him to be able to have that moment for himself, man, I was crazy proud of my guy, man. Leon, a guy who's been here a couple years, been through the program. I want to say this is his third year here, so for him to get that opportunity to kind of showcase his skills, what he could do, another guy, man, I was crazy proud of those guys.
Jane, just seeing what you've seen of them on film, are they the most talented team in the league you've seen this year, or is that to be determined? But they're awfully good, obviously.
I'm gonna go with the to be determined. I mean, I haven't suited up, and they haven't suited up either. So I mean, based off of film, there ain't no bad teams in the conference championship game. They're definitely a solid team. They do what they do well. Like I said, we still got to suit up on Saturday. You still got to come out and execute. You still got to play ball. So I think it'll be a great game.
You know, when you look at the opportunity ahead, just what does it mean to be able to play for a championship here? You know, obviously you don't come to a program thinking you're never going to get that opportunity. That's the goal, right?
I mean, yeah, big thing for me. Like you said, I mean, nobody goes to a school thinking that maybe I will or won't win a conference championship. But reality is, it's not common. I mean, it's pretty rare to be a champion at any level of football. I mean, there could only be one of them. You got to think, there's how many teams in the league? 14. Only one goes home at the end of the season and gets to say, "Oh, I got a ring. I'm in the conference championship for the year." So, I mean, it's definitely big for a lot of guys. I mean, as it should be. I mean, that's what we've been breaking it down on since. I mean, the spring ball and in the summer and over the winter. It was never win the East. It was never, for me, it was never anything of those sorts. It was always, let's go and let's compete to win the conference championship. That's the biggest goal we could have set for ourselves, and we're on the doorstep of accomplishing it. So we just got one more win to go.
Obviously, you've had a successful year, you know, individually as well. What's it mean to be atop of that leaderboard in conference in terms of tackles?
I mean, before the season, I mean, obviously everybody's writing down their personal goals along with their team ones, but for me, there was two that were at the top of the list, way past everything else. First one was lead the conference. Second one was break 100 tackles. I ended up completing both of those, so pretty proud of myself for that. Still got a lot more work to go. I mean, if you ask me, I definitely left a few out there who I probably could have broke 100 a little earlier, but yeah, just really excited for myself and for the rest of the guys to continue to put great things on film, continue to build value. Appreciate y'all.
Next up, we're going to have kicker / running back Reese Veerhoff.
Obviously, you probably repped that play before, but when you heard it called, what was your reaction? And, you know, when you're kind of sprinting down there toward the sideline, you know the line to gain. Just walk me through that play.
So it was kind of like a last-minute call, I'll be honest with you. Like, we looked at Huff, me and Galante, and he goes, "We're going to kick it, we're going to kick it." And then Galante's like, "But we want to run it." And so we ended up running it last minute. And, I mean, all I can say is I caught the ball from Alec, and I just saw a bunch of green, and I knew I had to get like 8 or 9 yards. And then when I got near like the 1 or 2, everybody's like, "Oh, you should have dove to get in." But I was like, nah, I didn't want to risk anything, so I just took the first.
Obviously, that play came at a huge moment in that game. You guys tie it right after that, but you know, to win a game like that, to get to the conference championship, what did that take?
Oh, man, it just takes a lot of hard work. I mean, from the summer to spring, just everybody here, like the fourth quarter program we do. And, I mean, we ended up doing it twice. We did it in the spring and the summer. And, I mean, I couldn't tell you, like, that was a brutal summer, just in the heat. And it's just the team bonding as well, like everybody being together and going through all that together is what also makes, like, the hard work pay off in those moments, especially when it comes down to a close game like that. And it's just big because everybody worked together and nobody doubted anybody.
Reese, what's it say about you guys as a team to come back? You had that, obviously, that little foible on the special teams on the last-second field goal that you missed. Then you go down and you hit that big one in overtime. You kind of strut to the sidelines, and then, of course, the one that you scored on. Is that part of the makeup of this team to just keep going and forget about a mistake and move to the next play?
I mean, I would just say, like, overall, I like any position, like, you just got to move on. I know, like, you don't want that to happen with the opportunity to have a game-winning field goal. And, I mean, I lost no trust in Alec at all with him dropping it. Like, I've worked with him since probably January, and, I mean, that's probably the first time I've ever seen him have, like, a mishap. And I mean, I told them after we got off the side, I said, hey, man, we're still in this thing, and they're probably going to need us again. And like we told them, and we hit a 49-yard field goal in overtime. That's big because if we don't make that, they make theirs, and that's game. So.
Just what are you looking forward to about the opportunity to get down to Louisiana? Obviously, a lot at stake this week. But what would it mean for you personally, and then as a team to be able to be champions of the Sun Belt?
It means a lot. I mean, it's just like I said, all the hard work we've done and what we've put into, like, it's just awesome. Like, I know we had the fluke against Georgia Southern, and that was a tough way to start the conference season. And I mean, what I was thinking about was just like, it's really fun to go down and beat a team. We can go beat a team that we've lost to twice in the past. Was it 2 years now? Because I wasn't here for the bowl game, but I remember watching it on TV. And as a specialist, it's also nice to play in warm weather, kick a football that's warm. So that's what I'm excited about too. Not playing in 20-degree weather at JMU, but yeah, I'm just excited to go down there because we have an opportunity to prove ourselves more and just, show our special teams is legit. And I mean, we've done a lot of work, and Galante has worked his butt off and has gotten us in the area where, I mean, I would not expect us to be at the top 10 in the nation with special teams efficiency, and I give all that credit to him because he's pushed us, and the time I see him do in dedication, it's impressive, and I give a lot of respect to him too.
You're talking about playing in cold games and warm games. So just as a kicker, how does that how do you go about preparing for the different weather environments in your position?
So I mean, I'm from Ohio, so I'm used to like cold football games, but I mean, cold games, it's not fun as a kicker. I mean, the ball just doesn't want to travel as far. And, I mean, the JMU game was fun. The ref came to me every time he went to give me the ball on kickoff. He's like, this ball is hard as a rock. And I'm like, yeah, it's just cold. But for cold games, you gotta stay warm on the sideline, can't stand still. Got to keep your legs moving because if you don't, that can affect a lot. Warm games, it's just more about staying hydrated and then just keeping your body ready and keeping your mindset ready. And I think it's all about mindset, too. Being able to not let that weather affect you, and that's kind of the biggest thing.
Obviously, there's pressure on a lot of different positions, but everybody kind of looks at the kicker as they've got one job. When you're carrying that pressure, and obviously you've had ups and downs in your career.
Yeah.
Every player does, but how do you go about the mentality of refocusing even in some of those lows?
For me, it's more just like, you got to know what you are capable and have the ability to do. Like, we talk to Galante all the time, and he's like, you guys have the ability to be really good, and we've shown it. And it's just like, even when you have slip-ups like that, as a specialist, you just got to put it in the past immediately. It's like golf. You might have a bad swing, and, you just got to go, all right, next hit. But, yeah, for me personally, I just move on. And, I mean, I tell all the specialists, I'm like, you got to move on. I'm like, I've had my ups and downs here, and I know, it's not fun when you have a down, but you never know, that next play could be a really big up. So
I'll ask a fun question really quick. I know you hit a 51-yarder earlier this year at Georgia Southern. Which was harder to connect on, the 51-yarder or the 49-yarder in the cold?
I mean, personally, the 49-yarder had a lot more meaning than I would say the 51 at Georgia Southern, because the 49 you're in overtime, and that's our last chance to put points up on the board in that moment. I would say the 49 was, I mean, personally, I didn't really think about it. I just kind of went out there and just was like, just trust your instincts and what you do, and it went through, and I was really happy about it. And I just walked off the field like, all right, our defense has got to do stuff and hold them to a field goal or not let them score. But, yeah, personally, the 49 was hard, especially with the cold weather there, and just the ball contact's key. If you have bad ball contact in cold weather, your ball can go all over the place.
All righty. Thanks, Reese.
Thank you.
We'll now bring up the FBS leader in kick return average, Ian Foster, 33.4 yards per kick return. Also a ton of tackles this year, 41 of them.
I think eventually they just gave that little pooch kick to Toby. And against James Madison. When they do that, is that kind of like, is that fulfilling, or is it like, man, I really wanted a chance to return that kick? What goes through your head when they make the decision to not kick to you?
Really on the pooch kicks, I really hope they kick it a little bit behind Toby because he can't back up. So if it hits right there, I want to go get that regardless of wherever the kick is. So when they really kick it at Toby, it's like, ah, man, that's an opportunity I missed. But at the same time, it's like, wow, they scared of me.
You know, a couple weeks ago, obviously, you said you've had experience at returning kicks before, but what has this opportunity meant for you to go out there and show it at the collegiate level?
It's been a lot. Last year was a lot of doubt. Back at home, I'm hearing a lot of noise of, oh, he's not going to be this in college. He's not going to be that in college. He can't do this in college. And I'm just proving a lot of people wrong right now. And I'm proving myself right. I'm my biggest doubter, so it's like when I'm hard on myself, I got to make a bigger point to prove myself right.
Do you think about it when you're back there? I mean, a lot of times what you've done this year changes the focus of the game. That's a big moment in any game, but as a returner like that, you literally can swing the momentum. Is that something that you think about when you go out there?
When I'm back there, I just key the ball and just like focus in on making this play, do whatever I need to do to like not go down by one man, get my offense to a good position to where they can go score and call plays comfortably.
What do you notice about Louisiana's offense, specifically the receiving core?
They got some guys. We got to play ball at the end of the day. Everybody has to do their job. Everybody has to go put on their pads the same way everybody puts on their pads. So, I mean, the game's going to be the game.
You know, obviously, a lot of guys will play special teams and then be on offense or defense. But you know, what does the preparation throughout the week look like when you're preparing for two different roles like that?
Really trying to hydrate as best as I can and practice going full speed in all the reps. Not really giving no bad reps or jogging. That's going to catch up with me in the game. So I try to go full speed and try to get my body as game ready as possible throughout the week.
What would winning a championship here at Marshall mean to you?
I mean, it would mean everything. I really ain't expect us to be in this position for real. Like last year, after everything that went on, I just wasn't really focusing on the championship. I just bought into what the coaches were preaching, and everything is working out how we wanted it to work out.
Any further questions for Ian? All right, buddy. Thank you. We got quarterback Braylon Braxton. Lead off Luke.
My name's Coach Huff today. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, obviously, this week is the opportunity you guys have been working for all year. What's it mean to finally be at this point?
It's kind of like a full circle moment. You know, when I first hopped in the portal and was getting recruited by Coach Huff and Coach Daggy, this was kind of the recruiting pitch. You know, we're bringing guys in to go win a conference championship, and now we're here. So we just got to finish the job.
What has you know, this 6-game win streak? Obviously, the 5 wins, you probably aren't here in the title game. It took all 6, and you know, to look back on what you guys accomplished to get to this point, what does that mean? You know, for this team who, you know, after Georgia Southern, you know, kind of knew that was probably the path.
It means a lot, and I just say it's a testament to our team. Like, anytime you know it's in front of you and you know what you have to go do, and everybody else who you're playing knows what you have to do, and you still go do it, I feel like that says a lot about a football team.
Brandon, what about just your personal growth? Obviously, first couple games, Stone was playing, and then you come in and you start to win games and obviously have played lights out. How do you feel about this journey for yourself?
I just really, honestly, I can't really thank nobody but God, honestly. Like, this is something that I've been praying. Like, I've been praying for this moment my entire life. Like, I've always just wanted the opportunity in college to just go on the field and show what I could do. Like, I've always felt like that I would be able to, you know, be in a position to, you know, be the leader of a team, be able to make plays and win games. But I was just waiting on the opportunity in the moment, and it's finally here. And I just feel like I'm capitalizing on it every time we step out there.
Look at the Louisiana defense. What stands out to you about them? What do you think about them?
They look like an SEC team on defense. From top to bottom, they're big, they're strong, they're fast, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. So we're going to have to be on our A game. We're going to have to be efficient, and we are going to have to show up and play football.
Obviously, when you're looking at guys like that have size and speed and skill, you know, how much does that kind of, I don't know, ramp up the the excitement for you to go out there and perform against, some of those guys?
It's a great opportunity and a great challenge because, like Coach Huff told us yesterday, there's no bad teams in the championship. So, we're playing the best team over there. They're getting the best team from over here. I feel like it's going to be a great battle and that we're going to get their best shot and they're going to get ours. So we're going to see how it goes.
Brendan, do you allow yourself even to think about what it would mean to you from a personal standpoint and a program standpoint to, if you could win this thing, to put your name up there with the Rakeem Catos and Byron Leftwiches and Chad Penningtons who've come out of here and won conference championship games?
I ain't really thought about it in that sense. I've really been thinking more of it as this is the first time. This would be Marshall's first time in the Sun Belt championship game. This would be Marshall's first time to win the championship game in the Sun Belt, and that's history in itself right there. I haven't really thought about comparing myself to other players that have came through here, but obviously that would be a blessing to be considered in the same category as those guys. But honestly, this is for the team. This is for Coach Huff. This is for the city of Huntington. So.
How much fun was it at the end of that game to go deep into the playbook and bring out, Reese doing his thing, and then, of course, you guys on the reverse, and then the Philly special. All that together was fun to watch.
Yeah, those are plays we've been working. We've been working some of them plays since the springtime, and when you finally get to pull them out and they actually work, it's like, wow, I'm glad we was working on those. But no, those are great plays. Those are memories that'll be in my head for the rest of my life. But we got to go finish.
Obviously, these last two games you've played in some tough environments, and this week will be no different. But you guys, do you feel well versed in that area by this point in the year?
Yeah, but I feel like we're ready. At this point, we're ready for anything. Coach Huff's already laid out the situation that we're walking into. They got the stadium under construction. Half of it's not done. All the fans are going to be behind our bench. So we know what we're walking into, and I feel like we're more than prepared for it.
All right. Thanks, Bray.
Good. Appreciate y'all.